Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Good morning, everybody. Silver and gold both taking a fall today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to search around and see if there's a reason why. It could just be that it's getting slammed down again. It could be that the CME hiked margins again. I know that the NASDAQ also took a tumble, and it could have to do with the war. And this is something that I literally saw. I got a little bit of a late start. Been having just having to take care of my family lately. The whole house has been sick. Baby's up all night, all this stuff. So not ahead of what's happening here from a news standpoint. Definitely called out that possibility on the charts. Looking at silver, basically we had the slam down, and it was developing what could have been a higher high and a higher low look here. And the last time I talked about it, I think it was on Tuesday, right? I was kind of out on Wednesday here, but long story short, it needed to get above 96 is what I said that day. And if it wasn't able to go above 96, then we were looking at more possibly of some kind of a sideways move. And I don't know, at the time we didn't have that breakdown yet, or if we did, it was really not very easy to read or tell. But long story short, we got a breakdown. So what's going to happen here is going to matter what silver does at this level of $63, is it? Yeah, $63. So right now it's sitting at 68. I'm going to get my spectacles because I put my screen so far away, and I've got it on just really small type, or I'm just getting old. Could be getting old. But long story short, the algo called it heading down just a few hours ago, like right before it headed down, which is what its job is. It doesn't mean it won't bounce here at 63. So let me remove this line here. Now, before we get any further, please, first of all, like, subscribe. A huge percentage of people who watch this and continue to watch it do not subscribe. So hit the like button, hit subscribe, helps us out. Go to the description. In the description is a free algo. It's a quick video where I show you how I build an algo, turn it into code using Grok. So you can see it as nice little arrows on your screen, kind of like this. And then once you've optimized it, I show you how the traders, the professionals, I show you what tools they use to connect it to their broker so it can trade for them when they're not sitting at the computer. It's all there inside the description. Of course, don't have it trade for you until you've optimized it. We show you how to do that at Algo Factory. So let's get back into the charts, okay? So 63, you can see here, is important, right? It's an important number. It's where that big bottom was, where silver got pushed down really hard. And, I've had this line here at 55 for a long time. I've had that sitting there for a while, and 55 is where price may end up going and making what I think would be a long-term bottom, right? It would make a lot of sense. It was the biggest top on the way up to this rhino horn, to this panic move up. And if the price were to be pushed down really hard, then 55 is where it might have a problem going any deeper. Now, we talked about this, right? We talked about this in I think it was the Live Lab Tuesday and possibly last week. Every time they're pushing it down, we don't know this for sure, but the real market is, still very bullish on silver long term, right? So to continue to artificially slam this down, it's going to require a few things. One of them may be just more money to slam it down, or two, it might be agreement. It might be some kind of agreement overseas, because without China's agreement, then, it might be hard to push this down. So I don't know the metrics at this point, what that looks like, but over time, silver is going to want to go up, at least according to my metrics and a lot of very smart people's metrics out there. Over time, over the long term, silver is going to want to go up. So to suppress it for too long a period of time is, in my opinion, unrealistic. It's either unrealistic or it's just going to cost a ton of money by the people who manipulate markets. It's one of the two. So we're going to see how that goes. For the moment, though, it does appear like it's going to hit 63 probably today. There's a very good chance of that. So I think if price were to eventually break to 55, you're looking at really 54.70. I think that's probably a really good buying opportunity, good accumulation zone. I don't think it's going to get all the way down to the next level, which is sitting at about $35. I don't think we'll see that again, but I could be wrong. So, $200 silver by the end of the year, I think, is realistic, though. I have people, very smart people, who are directly involved in the market who think that silver at $500 by the end of the year is realistic. I think it's possible. I think 200 is realistic. That's what I think. I did, I had somebody ask me late last year what I thought silver would do, and I said 100 is a lock. I think we're going to see 100. Well, we did. It went up to 120, and it did it rather quickly, which is why we're seeing a move back. Give me just one moment. Apologies for that. Just had a tickle in the throat there. So that's silver in a nutshell. That's everything from silver, and gold is going to be reflected. Of course, nasty move down with gold. That's brutal. The equivalent to that 55 level in gold is going to be at 4,400 is that same level. Most likely, if you see 35 in silver, I'm sorry, 55. You see 55 in silver, you're probably seeing 44 in gold. That's what I think. But that all remains to be seen. We're out of time. I mean, this is a very disgusting double top formation on a higher time frame. So this does indicate that there is going to be further move down. That's usually what that means. Right now, is gold going to go all the way to this 3,500? That's kind of like silver going down to 35. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could. It really could. So we're going to see how all that plays out. This is a pretty strong move down. So chances are right now, these moves here are going to get bought up pretty soon. When you see such a strong move down on any chart, this one candle being so strong, there's a really good chance that this will get bought up. Usually what I look for here is, did the NASDAQ fall in any meaningful way? It doesn't look like it. It's still within that range that we've seen it bounce back and forth going back, several weeks. Another place to look is going to be a separate market segment, is going to be Bitcoin. Not a significant move down on Bitcoin. It is continuing down rather than arcing up, so that this thesis that I had here is no longer in play. We may have seen the top for Bitcoin at this point. I don't know. We got a little bit of time left in our live show here before I move over to the private live lab. So I will go ahead and talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin at some point is going to make a top, may have already made it at this $76,000 point, and it's probably going to head down. That's what I've been saying. When Bitcoin started to move up, let's just say for the last 2-3 weeks, I've been saying I expect a move up in Bitcoin. Now that move up had a number of different possible targets, and the lower targets being the more likely. So the first more likely target was going to be around 74,000, which it hit. And I called that out over the weekend. I told everybody, hey, this is going to hit 74,000 back when it was, I want to say it was around 70. So I did call that out before it happened, as it was happening. And I called it out like play by play, by the way. It was like blow by blow over the weekend. Because, Bitcoin's kind of nice to follow all the weekend. There's nothing else really to do besides Bitcoin and crypto. And right now, every single crypto almost is pretty much following Bitcoin. So it's like, why do anything else besides Bitcoin for the most part, except for, if you're a shitcoiner. But if you're like a trader, then Bitcoin's kind of it. That said, the next level up was like 78. So you had 74, which got hit. You had 78, which may or may not be hit. And then you have 80, and then you have kind of like this 83 area. And, the higher you go, the less likely it's to go, right? Until a certain point. If it goes high enough, then the bulls are going to catch on for real, and it's going to get pushed up higher. But I just don't see that energy in the current market right now. All last year, the year before, I was calling that the top of the bull market would be between 120 and 160. That's what I called out. And it's very public. You go back, look at a lot of my stuff. This opinion didn't change last year and the year before. 120 to 160. I've said it over and over and over. And it tapped 120 twice. You got a nice top out at 126, and it headed down. And it headed down in a big way. This really is this looks like the end of the bull market to me. That's what that looks like. I've been saying it the whole time. My thesis remains unchanged, my primary thesis. Could it head back up? Could it make all-time highs? The answer is yes. Anything can happen. Possible, in my opinion, at this time. And I will just kind of reaffirm this. just by looking at all of my data. I'm going to say not probable. I'm going to say that we're looking at Bitcoin probably starting to head back down, and 74 may have been the high. Zooming in here to the 3-hour chart, 76, I should say, may have been like the high that we're going to see. Might be it. Might go up once more, but at this time, we're now in the kind of the zone where Bitcoin's probably going to head down from here. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but you know what? When you're trading and you're in markets, it doesn't really matter what you want. You need to want what the market wants, right? And that's what we teach at Algo Factory. We teach people how to take advantage of the moves that the market makes. Instead of hoping and praying that your crypto is going to go up, we actually show people how to trade primarily in the Forex markets. You could use this in crypto. You can use this in the NASDAQ. We actually do a lot of work with NASDAQ, SP 500, stocks. What we teach is applicable across the markets. Doesn't matter what market you're in. So when you're ready to start trading like a professional, like a hedge fund pro, instead of risking all your money on some fucking meme coin, right? Because that game was dead in 2024. Right? That's like, at this point, if you're just going to play with that meme coins, like you're done. People are just taking your money. Like you're not going to win. Very, very, very low probability. It's pure gambling with a terrible probability of success, right? What we do is we show you how to take a reasonable approach, quantifiable, basic data science. We can show you how we use the data on the screen and the data at the bottom of the screen here. And it might not look, you might not use the same exact data. I show you how to search out that data. It's very easy to do. This is not hard. I teach people of all educational levels how to build their own trading algorithm. It is literally what I do. Okay. And when I do that, people are able to tilt the odds in their favor. They're able to take a situation that's a coin toss, and maybe they're going to win 60% of the time, maybe 70% of the time. And when they win bigger than when they lose. And if you just develop and follow such a system, it's not exciting. It's not going to make you rich overnight. You're not going to get your 100x on your crypto or whatever, but that's a dream anyway. Nobody gets that. Nobody gets 100x on anything anymore. Like the people who tell you they did are liars. They're just fucking liars. Or if they did once, and then they lost 10x 28 times. And in reality, they got lucky once and they're way behind in the money. It's all lies. I'm just telling you right now, if you want to be a profitable trader, Algo Factory will get you there. And it's not easy. It takes work. And it's not going to make you rich overnight. No, it isn't. But some people have gotten rich doing this in this kind of trading. Many people have. But the percentage of people who make it is very low because most people don't want to do the work. All you have to do is the work. That's it. So algofactory.tech, link in the description, free algo that'll lead you to us. If you want to be a trader, like a real trader, like a professional trader, come talk to us. We will make this work for you. Thank you for watching. We're going to head over to the private live lab. We'll be back on Tuesday and should be back to normal operations. Normal times, all that stuff. This week we missed like Wednesday and I was like 5 minutes late. Today is pretty normal. Either way, thank you all for watching and we'll see you next week. Bye now.
Join us or die.
Just kidding. You're not going to die. We love you.